Things are getting very, very interesting. Not once, not twice, but severally, I've always maintained that come 2027, William Ruto might win a second term, not that he's loved by Kenyans, but because Kenyans love voting along ethnic and tribal lines. So the ethnic divisions among Kenyans can easily give William Ruto a second term in 2027. As things are right now, it's Kenyans versus Ruto. But when it comes to 2027, when the opposition will also be having presidential candidates, whether one candidate or several candidates, it will be tribes competing, tribes supporting William Ruto and tribes supporting the opposition. And that's how William Ruto can easily win a second term. Not that he's popular, but because of the ethnic voting style by Kenyans. The recent Court of Appeals verdict has also made things easier for William Ruto and more complicated for the opposition. We all know that Rigathi Gachagua, upon being impeached, he moved to the court. And the Court of Appeal about 3 days ago declared or gave a verdict that the Deputy Chief Justice cannot empanel a bench. Thus, a role reserved for the Chief Justice, not the Deputy Chief Justice. And if you look at that ruling, it can give Rigathi Gachagua a leeway to contest for the presidency come 2027. And some of Rigathi Gachagua's supporters and leaders supporting him are also milking that. Let's have a look at what Njeri Maina, Kirinyaga women representative, said. Until the matter pertaining to Gachagua's impeachment is conclusively decided by the Supreme Court, he can still run for political office. It will be up to Kenyans to vote. Njeri Maina, Kirinyaga women rep. So the women rep is just saying that if the Supreme Court will not conclusively address the case of Rigathi Gachagua's impeachment, Rigathi can still contest for the presidency. I want us to dig deep into this for Kenyans to understand what all this means. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's proceed. What does all that means and portends politically? The only way the opposition will be able to maybe beat William Ruto come 2027 is to rally behind one strong candidate. The moment the opposition will split, where we will have two or more presidential candidates, William Ruto might easily beat them. The only secret weapon is for the opposition to field one strong candidate. With the recent Court of Appeals verdict, that in essence give Rigathi Gachagua a fighting chance come 2027. Rigathi can contest for the presidency. That means the opposition might have more presidential candidates. If Rigathi was not able to contest for the presidency come 2027, then technically it would mean Rigathi would support other presidential candidates in the opposition. But if he is in a position to contest, and we know that in the opposition currently, looking at the ethnic numbers, Rigathi controls more ethnic numbers than any of the opposition candidates. So we might see something similar to what happened in 2013. In 2013, before Uhuru Kenyatta was supported for the presidency, there were some rumors that Musalia Mudavadi was to be the candidate to be supported by both Uhuru and Ruto. But when they sat down at a table, each and every presidential candidate was told to show his or her numbers. And that's how Uhuru Kenyatta was supported for the presidency, in that he was controlling a bigger voting basket than Ruto and than Kalonzo Musyoka. And also when the numbers were looked into, it was also realized that Ruto, being a Kalenjin, was controlling more votes than Kalonzo Musyoka. That's how Ruto ended up being Uhuru's running mate in 2013. Kalonzo had to jump ship and to join Raila Odinga. In the event Rigathi Gachagua will be allowed to contest, I'm very sure these top leaders will sit at a table. Each leader will be told to show his numbers. And that's how Rigathi Gachagua might end up beating all these other presidential candidates now that he has more numbers. That will be the beginning of the opposition split. I don't think with Kalonzo's advanced age, he will easily play a second fiddle to any of these opposition candidates. Kalonzo, speaking politically, he is more senior than Rigathi Gachagua. He has been a deputy president. He has served for so many years in government. He understands government more than even Rigathi Gachagua. So on that basis, Kalonzo stands tall. He's more senior than all these Rigathis and the Matiangis. That's why it will also be very hard for Kalonzo to play a second fiddle to either Rigathi or to Matiang'i. If you look at Matiang'i, Matiang'i came to the limelight because of the Gen Z revolution. In the height of the protests, Gen Z mentioned Matiang'i, that their candidate was Matiang'i. That's how Matiang'i got wind that he could be a presidential candidate. So primarily, Matiang'i is in this race because of the Gen Zs, not because of Rigathi or because of Kalonzo. And from that front again, it will be very hard for Matiang'i maybe to support Rigathi or to support Kalonzo Musyoka. And again, if you look at Fred Matiang'i, Matiang'i will only be relevant in 2027 if he will be a presidential candidate. I strongly believe that Matiang'i cannot whip his supporters to support any other candidate. As long as Matiang'i will not be a presidential candidate, it will be very hard for him to convince his supporters to support other candidates. So that's the challenge. That's the challenge. Look at Matiang'i and then you look at Kalonzo and Rigathi. Kalonzo can easily convince his supporters to support another presidential candidate. Same to Rigathi Gachagua, but not Matiang'i. All these factors, in my honest opinion, are just helping in dividing the opposition. They must use a lot of wisdom in 2027 if they want to beat William Samoei Ruto. A small divide in the opposition will easily give William Ruto a second term. And from this Courts of Appeals verdict, it's very clear to me that two things might happen. The first thing, this verdict might give Rigathi Gachagua a leeway to contest for the presidency. The second thing, this verdict might also give Rigathi Gachagua a leeway to join William Ruto, maybe even as a deputy president. If William Ruto sees that all doors are being closed on him, he can easily use that to lure Rigathi Gachagua back into his government. So the verdict, as much as the opposition might be celebrating that verdict favors William Ruto more than any other presidential candidate come 2027. And you are seeing already, Mount Kenya leaders, especially those supporting Rigathi, they are now mulling at a possibility of Rigathi Gachagua going for the presidency. Kenyan politics is very interesting. One day in Kenyan politics is like 1,000 years. Things can happen. And just as I've been saying here, I won't be surprised to find Kalonzo Musyoka with William Samoei Ruto come 2027. Or equally, I won't be surprised to find Rigathi and Raila Odinga working together come 2027. The political playing field is still open. We are still going to see and witness very interesting political realignments. Kenyans have not yet seen anything. It's still too early to make a conclusive verdict. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. In case you're watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. And some of our fans have been asking for my number, that they want to send something small. That's my number. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.